You don't want to use a leave-in conditioner that you rub it now and in 2 hours time your hair is already doing. We have other things to be using our time to do now. I know we've all been conditioned to do it, pun intended. But guess what? My hair didn't fall off. I'm all for 20-minute wash days. Who said that? Who said that? Look, ain't nobody got time for a 10 product lineup on wash day. And you know, it's girl, I'm out of breath. Hi babes and boys, welcome to another episode of Natural Hair is Easy. It's a show and tell series where I teach you how to take care of your natural hair without stress, pressure, or doing the most. Because honey, it is not as difficult as some of those people make it seem. Now, in our last episode, we talked about 4 horrible habits that we need to be dumping if you want stress-free hair care this year. But today, we are shifting the vibe to what we should actually be doing. Habits that we need to be normalizing if we want to have stress-free hair care in 2026. And of course, achieve all your healthy hair, long hair goals. Because trust me, it is absolutely possible to achieve long, healthy hair without doing the most. I'm proof. And if we're talking reality things, we have lives to live this year. We got other shit to do. We got taxes. We got more money to make. We have a lot of hustle going on. We don't have time to be spending 6 hours on our hair every week. Hello. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so this first habit, some of you will fight me. And honestly, I'm down to chat, okay? You can just drop your thoughts in the comments and we can talk there. Anyway, this first habit that you need to normalize is treating deep conditioner as a treatment, not as a necessity. Yes, I said it. See, let me tell you something. I know we've all been conditioned to do it, pun intended. And heck, even I have given this tip again and again and again. Deep condition every wash day. Well, guess what? I spent the better part of last year with my hair not deep conditioned. I'm talking, I would enter the shower, I would use shampoo, wash my hair, step out, leave-in conditioner, scalp serum. I'm done. Okay. Most of my wash days last year had nothing to do with deep conditioner, unless maybe a brand was paying me to, create content with their products, and then I would deep condition, and only then. And in totality, how many brands did I work with last year? So yeah, I wasn't doing much deep conditioning. But guess what? My hair didn't fall off. It didn't fall out. It didn't break any extraordinary amount of breakage. Nothing really happened. And it got me thinking, should deep conditioning really be a necessity unless, of course, you are battling extreme dryness? And what I mean by that is that maybe you really neglected your hair for a really long time. For example, now, these braids that I've had on, I think I've had them now for like 5 weeks or maybe 6. By the time I eventually take them out, best believe I'm going to deep condition my hair or do a protein treatment, one of the two. But yeah, I'm going to do some kind of treatment because it's been a while, right? But if you are somebody who washes your hair every week or every 2 weeks, deep conditioning that often, no, that it is necessary, to be honest. I'm just giving you this advice, like you should normalize it if you're trying to reduce stress, because deep conditioning alone can take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes to even 40 minutes on your wash day. Now, if you remove deep conditioning and all you do is shampoo, apply leave-in conditioner, and then do your scalp, I'm telling you, your wash day will go from 1 hour to 20 minutes. As up. I'm all for 20 minutes wash days. Let me just say that. I'm all for 20-minute wash days. Okay? All right. So if you want a less stressful wash day and dryness is not something that you are really battling with right now, I think it's okay to skip deep conditioning every once in a while, to be fair. I mean, you can deep condition maybe once a month, once in 6 weeks, once in 2 months. Who said that? Who said that? But I mean, to have to be deep conditioning every single wash day, I don't know if it's necessary. Yeah, no. Yeah. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Honestly, I really want to hear from you on this one. Me, not really. I don't. It's something I'm normalizing, definitely, because I've started doing it since last year, and I saw the amount of time that it saved me. So this year, definitely normalizing it. But let me know your thoughts. Yeah. The second habit that I'm normalizing, and I think you should too, is using multifunctional products. Look, ain't nobody got time for a 10 product lineup on wash day. Imagine you're using one shampoo to wash your hair to clean your hair. Then you're not using another shampoo to wash your hair for the sake of the soothing, minty feeling on your scalp. Then you now use rinse house conditioner, deep conditioner, maybe protein treatments too, because just the rinse out conditioner alone is not really doing it, and the deep conditioner alone is not really doing it. So you really need to use the two of them so that your hair can feel a kind of soft. And then after that, you now go to moisturizing. So you first spray water, and then you use leave-in conditioner, and then you seal with butter, and then you seal with oil, because using only one product is not moisturizing enough. And then you now use your scalp serum, no, your scalp spray first, then your scalp serum, then your scalp oil. It's a long process. So instead, wouldn't it be better if you had a shampoo that was very cleansing, very moisturizing, but also very soothing? Three in one. You just wash your hair with that shampoo once. Your hair is, it's not tangling, it doesn't strip your hair, and your scalp is also really soothed and also very clean. You've saved yourself time. You only had to buy one product, and it's pa, pa, pa. And then for your conditioner, find a good deep conditioner. Stop buying deep conditioner for 1k. That your 1k deep conditioner is not doing you any favors. Get yourself a proper deep conditioner, one that once you deep condition by, your hair go tear you. And that's even if you are deep conditioning that day safe, because like I said, I am not deep conditioning every wash day. And if you are deciding to skip deep conditioner, then your leave-in conditioner needs to pack quite a punch when it comes to moisture. So you don't want to use a leave-in conditioner that you rub it now, and in 2 hours time your hair is already doing girl. Get yourself a better leave-in conditioner. If your leave-in conditioner is doing you like that, I don't think your hair is the problem. I think the leave-in conditioner, you might want to change it. Do something, get something a little better. Will it be a little pricier? Yeah, sure. But at least if it's saving you time, it's saving you stress, I think it's worth it's a good bargain, I think. You know? Some of the leave-in conditioners that I've used that I've absolutely loved is, I have this leave-in conditioner from Anoint. Anoint's leave-in conditioner is not bad. Leave-in conditioner from Shiny, but Shiny has closed down. God damn it. BK Organics. Their leave-in conditioner is good. It's good. Beauty Express Hair Shop, lovely leave-in conditioner. What I'm basically saying is that instead of buying three different shampoos, just buy one that does all three. Same thing for your leave-in conditioner, right? If you want to take my earlier advice about skipping deep conditioner once in a while, then you need to get a very good creamy leave-in conditioner that if you rub the leave-in conditioner alone without even sealing with butter or oil or whatever, it still packs a punch, keeps your hair moisturized for a long time. Then obviously for your scalp, I think honestly anybody that uses more than one scalp product at a time, you're one of those people that have a 10-step Korean skincare routine. Because honestly, I think if you just get yourself a good scalp serum, and what I mean by scalp serum is, nowadays oil is not that big of a deal anymore. There was a time where everybody was shouting Ayurvedic oil, but like now, people are going more towards serums, because serums, one, they are water based, so they are moisturizing. Two, they also contain oils, so they have that nourishing property that you will get from oils. And then three, they tend to have this soothing property. So maybe it's tea tree oil or peppermint oil or maybe even menthol. They tend to have that tingling. So within the serum, you're getting moisture, you're getting nourishment, and you're getting soothing, soothing sensation. So why are you still layering multiple products on your scalp when you can just use that one scalp serum? Hello. We have other things to be using our time to do now. Please prioritize multifunctional products in your hair care routine this year if you really want to achieve, a stressless hair care routine. Okay? Okay. This third habit, people are going to fight me in the comment section, but don't worry, it's fine. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, this third habit is normalizing wigs and scarves as protective style. Yes, I know that nowadays, if you wear wig like this, hey, you don't love your natural hair. Hey, you don't love yourself. See, man, no lie give you. Last year I wear wig like mad. I think last year is the year that I bought wigs. Like I was just buying wig. I think I bought like 3 wigs, maybe 4 last year. I was just wearing wig because, girl, let me tell you the truth, And once you accept this fact, you will know peace. Natural hair freezes up fast. See, once you accept it, because a lot of people have been noticing that people have started branding their products as anti-freeze. Buy this cream is anti-freeze. Buy this conditioner is anti-freeze, anti-freeze, anti-freeze. Let me tell you something. You use that anti-freeze, tire in 2 weeks, your hair will still be rough. There are some times, yeah, especially if you are trying to be consistent with your hair care routine, you have your mini twist in and you want to carry the mini twist for 4 weeks, but you've already promised yourself that you're going to wash your hair every week, meaning that you wash your hair in that mini twist. So no way, no way. By week 2, week 3, the hair is already beginning to look like, and there are some people's rough mini twists that I've seen that just look really cute. But for some reason, once my own mini twists start looking rough, I start to look a little somehow. And that's not the ideal way I want to present my natural hair. But at the same time, I don't really have time to get the hair redone, because if I want to redo my hair, that means I need to take down these mini twists. I need to have a wash day again, and then I now need to put it into a new style. And usually I do my hair myself. I don't go to the salon. So like if I don't have the time to do it, me, I know that is either I will do rush and then just be ripping out my hair, or I can just wear a wig for 1 week till I have the time to do this new hairstyle that I want to do. So I will wear the wig. Now I know I said wigs or scarves because I've seen people tie scarves when their hair is beginning to look rough. But me, mostly, I tie scarves sometimes, but mostly you'll see me in a wig. And it is okay. Give yourself grace. Your natural hair is not a prison. Just because you have natural hair doesn't mean you have to be political about it. All right? You are still free to do whatever you want. Heck, you can see me, I'm currently in extensions. And I chose to do extensions because I knew that January was going to be a shit storm. In January, I resumed 2 new jobs and I knew there was going to be a lot of navigating, and like I won't even have time to think about my hair at all. Throughout this January, the most hair care I've done is applying scalp serum. Yeah, this is me confessing my truth to you. I have not washed my hair this month. I have not washed my hair in 2026 as of right now. This is January 24. I've not washed my hair in 2026. Yes, because I've been in this braid since December. Yeah. So give yourself grace. Wear the wig. Don't worry, the wig will not bite you. It didn't carry evil spirits. And if you feel like it does, pray over it. What's the point of having a stress-free hair care routine? For the convenience of it, of course. And if wig is the most convenient thing to do, please wear your wig. Thank you. The fourth habit is making your hair fit into your lifestyle and not the other way around. I think it's very important for us to normalize adjusting our hair care to fit our current reality or our current lifestyle. So there are some times where I am active and my life is a absolute shit storm. Okay. For example, this January, let me tell you, there's a lot that happened in my life in January. If you've been following my other series, The Balancing Act, that one drops every Saturday, you would know some of this gist. And if you are not following it, better go and follow it. Anyway, a lot has been happening in January, and I know that I won't have the time to really focus on my hair like that. So what do I do? Extensions. And I know I did these extensions in December, but it's because I knew that January was going to be a shitstorm. And so that's why I just did it down, okay? But in February, I'm expecting things to calm down a little bit. And so in February, I'm going to like take this down and then do maybe mini twists or cornrows or something with my natural hair, something cutesy, you know what I'm saying? And again, I do my hair myself. So if I do not have the time, and I know I'm not going to have the time, then I'm going to rearrange my hair care routine for that period. So in February now, when things are calmer and I can deal with my natural hair more, hey, I can be washing my hair every week. I can decide to put my hair in mini twists, or even do like low, what they call those things, low manipulation hairstyles, just packing my hair different styles, because I know I can handle it, I know I can deal with it. But if it's gonna be a very tight month, then I'm gonna put my hair in a long-term protective style, okay? Whether it's extensions or it's mini twists, because I consider mini twists to also be a long-term protective style as well, and even cornrows sometimes. Because like I said, if I would do the cornrows and after like 2-3 weeks it's already getting rough, I'm gonna put on a wig and then extend this by maybe 3 more weeks, okay? See, this year is about convenience, because I don't know about you, I've set very big goals for this year for other aspects of my life outside of hair care. I cannot allow hair to come and be the thing that will not allow me to fulfill destiny this year. And that, my babes and boys, is how we keep things simple, sweet, and stress free. If this made your day a little easier today, please make sure you give your girl a thumbs up and drop a comment. See, I've mentioned many things in this video and I know you have some thoughts, okay? So just run down to the comment section, pour your entire heart, your mind, everything that you are thinking, pour it inside the comment section. Let's talk. I'm down to chat. I'm free. If you have a question, an episode suggestion, or your thoughts about everything I've said in this video, or you just even want to say hi, girl, I'm over here. I got nothing doing. Also, if your natural hair is not the only thing in your life that you're trying to balance, I think you will love my other series, The Balancing Act. Those episodes drop every Saturday. It's where we talk about managing the madness of life while attempting to stay sane. So yeah, I think you're gonna like it. Anywho, that's a wrap for this episode. I'll see you in the next one where we discuss the fine line between seeing wigs and extensions as a protective style and seeing them as culture erasure tools, because there are some people that perceive wigs and extensions that way. I think it will be a very interesting video, so make sure you don't miss it. Alrighty then, I'll see you same time next week. Bye.